As many Americans struggle to find relief from unemployment, inflation and foreclosures, the standoff in Washington holds firm. In discussions about increasing the debt ceiling, congressional Democrats continue to push for tax increases for the wealthy, while the GOP counters that those increases would stymie job growth, and they seek further cuts before any agreement can be reached. So where is the middle ground to get workers back on their feet and the country back in shape? I'm joined now by Republican Congressman Joe Walsh of Illinois, with us from Chicago. Good afternoon, Joe.
Hey, Martin, how are you doing?
Good. Now, lawmakers have been meeting behind closed doors for weeks. Do you all realise, I have to ask you, do you all realise how utterly catastrophic it would be for the nation internationally if this debt ceiling issue wasn't resolved?
Hey, Martin, I think we all realize, and I'll speak for myself and Republicans in Congress, we realize how catastrophic this debt crisis is. We realize how catastrophic it is that we borrow $188 million every hour of every day. That's the catastrophe, is the debt we're leaving to our kids and our grandkids. Hopefully, this town, Martin, has gotten serious enough that they're going to deal with that debt. And hopefully we can use this debt ceiling issue as an opportunity to really reform, Martin, the way this town does business and spends money.
But you've had repeat meetings, and we haven't really had any sign of particular progress, have we?
Well, I don't know. I can tell you this, Martin. I think that the American people understand that this is an unusual time. And look, they sent Republicans to Congress to do something about it. So we are certainly encouraging our leadership to be as bold as possible. Martin, I was one of 103 Republicans earlier this week that sent a letter to our leadership that said, you know, in even thinking about raising the debt ceiling, Mr. Speaker, we want major cuts, we want spending caps, and we want a balanced budget amendment to the Constitution so that politicians in D.C. every single year, Martin, have to balance their books.
RNC Chairman Reince Priebus has rejected the idea of extending unemployment benefits. In his words, he says it's throwing good money after bad. Do you agree with that?
Oh, absolutely. Look, Martin, unemployment was set up to be a temporary handout to help folks get through tough times. We've gone well beyond that. Everything is on the table. We need to look at everything government does because, again, Martin, we've got a government we can't afford. So when it comes to defense, when it comes to entitlements, when it comes to unemployment insurance, everything is on the table. But I can tell you right now that a permanent unemployment insurance is a disincentive for too many people out there not to want to work.
Mr. Walsh, you're saying everything's on the table. And yet, what about the Bush tax cuts? What about those? Because we were told in December, that extending them would result in jobs being created. Well, where are the jobs?
Well, I'd quibble with you a bit, Martin, because I wouldn't have voted to extend the Bush tax rates. I would have voted to have cut the Bush tax rates. No. I would have voted, Martin, I would have voted to cut those rates. To me, all we did was extend the Bush rates. I would have supported cutting those rates. We need to cut taxes. And I wish my Republican Party wouldn't cede this ground. When we cut taxes on people and businesses, Martin, the economy grows.
Sorry,
I don't
Mr.
want
Walsh,
to just extend rates.
I just need to be clear because I don't quite understand. Are you saying that you wouldn't just have voted for an extension of the Bush tax cuts, but you actually would have reduced those very tax cuts themselves and then extended them?
Oh, absolutely. I would have reduced those taxes, tax rates.
What kind of deficit would we have under those plans?
Martin, I would argue that we'd be in better shape right now because, again, the economy would be growing more. All that business out there wants, Martin, is they want some sort of certainty and simplicity when it comes to taxes. Right now, this government, Martin, is suffocating business. I don't want to extend their rates. I want to make it easier for them to grow and hire people.
But, Mr. Walsh, we were promised job growth, an increase in employment, if we extended the tax cuts. there hasn't been any job growth. The unemployment rate's actually gone up.
Yeah, hey, Martin, look, President Obama came into office and promised us an unemployment rate
forget about the president
8% a year ago.
Mr. Walsh, just for a moment. Let's forget about the president for a moment. Let's just talk about extending the Bush tax cuts. We're going to see an increase in jobs. What have we seen? An increase in unemployment.
Absolutely, because, Martin, again, we did not permanently extend them and we did not cut them. Businesses are sitting on their hands right now because they have no good feeling at all toward what Washington's doing. But I can't let you get away with that. Come on, Martin. He's been in office 3 years. He's promised to stimulate the economy and get the economy moving. He's done the exact opposite. Every single thing, Martin, this president has done has destroyed the private economy in this country. Republicans need to very proudly stand on a pro-growth platform of, yes, cutting taxes and letting the private economy grow.
Congressman Joe Walsh, as ever, thanks so much for joining us.